think overall, I certainly was in the locker room at the end of the game. I told the guys that we all recognize, I think, that there were a lot of things that we did wrong. There were certainly things we could do better on offense. There's certainly things we could do better on defense. I thought special teams, with the exception of the penalty at the very beginning of the game, I thought were outstanding. But right now, I didn't want to worry about any of those things. I didn't want the guys to worry about any of those things. I wanted them to enjoy the win. It was a good team. It was a good game. Anything could have happened. And I was proud of the way our guys hung in there, came up with plays when we needed to. The offense certainly came alive in the second half. I think it was pretty noticeable that Alex, his ankle was bothering him a little bit. And again, he's certainly not just a leader, but he's a warrior. And when he had to run the ball, he ran the ball. And he may have been a little off in some of his throws, but he did a great job of managing the team on the field. And I was certainly pleased with him and that effort. And certainly the offense did a great job, I think, in the second half. Special teams first and second half. And defense came up with some big plays, but we need to be more consistent on defense. I got to take my hat off as well to their coach and their staff. I thought Western Illinois was well prepared to play us. They were creating some problems for us with regards to our offense. They were doing some things that were creating some problems for us with regard to our defense. But I think we did a pretty solid job on special teams. I said that already. But I think my hat's off to those guys in the way they played as well. They certainly didn't give up. They didn't give up either at the end of the game. So, ask me some tough questions. Don't just sit there and kind of soft. Let's go. Come on, hit me with something.
When you see your guys face 4 different deficits and answer each time pretty quickly, what's that say about your team?
Well, that's a little too tough a question. Let's start all over. Give me something easier. I think, Ryan, I think everything we talk about is sort of character. Everything we talk about is our mission. Everything we talk about is bam. So the one thing I know, we may not have a great night. We may not play as well as we should all the time. We make some mistakes. But there is not a chance we're going to lay down. That's not going to happen. I expect that from our guys. I think they expect that from themselves. And that's happened to us plenty of times over the span of the last few years anyway. So we're used to that. And you know what? I think the more you can handle yourself under pressure, the better that's going to help you later on in the season.
You talked about poise last week being a big
Yes.
thing. How'd you like the poise of your defense those last 2 defensive stands?
We played better defense our last couple of defensive stands. Our tackling wasn't as good as what it should be, and we had a couple kind of busts where we should have been. We gave too many plays that were easy, but I don't think that was necessarily a poise thing. I think that was more of a discipline thing. There were times when we lost our leverage where it wasn't that complex. There were times where we just kind of screwed up our assignments. It wasn't that complex. So they're the things that we've got to do better on. So poise was better. Our hustle was good, but our discipline could have been better than what it was. I have no doubt the film's going to tell us that. But for now, I'm happy with the guys. I'm happy with the staff. And I want them to enjoy this, and we'll talk about this tomorrow.
What do you make of the inconsistency there on defense? You had one great game last week and then 2 games that were a little shakier.
I agree. I think we got to look at the film, Ryan, to be able to tell that for sure. It's difficult to tell. The best thing you can do when you're up in the box or you're coaching during a game is correct a mistake. But if you don't exactly see what happened, you can't get that corrected. And the same mistake kind of multiplies. That might have happened. That might have happened today. But I'm not going to know that without taking a look at the film.
Devin Brown's won off the FCS record for kick return touchdowns. Are you surprised teams still challenge him?
I thought it was kind of ballsy on their part, actually. You know, I think Devin's certainly done a great job on film. Now, give them credit too. There were a couple times where they did come down there and they were able to stop us, I think, right on the 25 and maybe a little earlier than that. But if they want to kick to Devin, I think there's always going to be a threat that he might be able to take one to the house. I think our guys are doing a good job of blocking for him, with the exception of the one penalty and on the first kickoff return. But the rest of we practice all week for the ball not just going to Devin. It's going to go all over the place. So we were well prepared for that. So if they don't go to Devin, well, then we should have pretty good field position anyway.
How important was D'Angelo to you guys tonight? It seemed like he was shedding those big guys every time he touched the ball.
Certainly he had a great game. I mean, he had a great game. I don't know. I got the stats in front of me, but I can't see without my reading glasses. My guess is about 160 yards or so. Thought he did a good job holding on to the ball. He certainly made big plays. So did Omar when he went in. He wound up making some big plays too. And I think maybe the second half, our line was doing a good job coming off the ball. They may have been a little bit tired, maybe a touch tired. I don't know. But certainly, D'Angelo had a great night. He's been having a great season so far.
That's 2 games in a row. Osha's giving you a little spark there when he's been in. What has he shown you in those opportunities, and how tough is it to find opportunities for him with the way Hop runs out there?
This is how tough it is. You gotta hop out, Osh in. That's how tough it is. And Osh gets plenty of work over the span of the week, and we will not hesitate to use Osh. But when Hop's really effective and he's good and he's moving well, there's no real need to kind of take him out. I think we probably could have given Osh maybe a couple more carries, only because I think there were times when Hop was tired, but he had a great night. I thought Osh played well too. Osh is a good back, so when you put him in the fourth quarter, he's got good legs. I mean, that's not so easy. That's not so easy. So we're not afraid to use him at all, but I certainly don't challenge leaving Hop in the way we did.
What'd you make of the atmosphere tonight? Record crowd, 10,300.
10,300. I was pleased. I think when we first go out there, it looks a little empty, but certainly as the game went on, what I really liked was I think there were times when it was good when they were clearly audibling, and our fans started to make some noise, make that a little. That's difficult for the offense if they're not prepared for that. If you notice, a lot of the things they were doing were hand signals anyway. But I was pleased with our fans. I was pleased with Coastal Carolina. And again, we talk about our mission: put a team on the field that's going to make Coastal proud. Hopefully, we do that game after game, and hopefully everybody felt that way tonight. I know we were all proud that our school was well represented here.
Kelvin, how tough was it tonight going up against an All-American candidate in Lance Lenore there, and then a defense that really was balanced as far as throwing and running?
Are you comparing our defense? Are you talking about our defense?
No, just tough for you to go up against.
Their offense, not just number 7 in particular, but their offense was pretty good. They were good at executing, the things that, they had schemed up for us. But, we don't really too much focus on, whether he's an All-American, whether he's, this or that. We just try to focus on the things that we have to do. Because at the end of the day, that's all we can control. We can only control ourselves, our actions, and the way we play the game. So, they were a good team, but we were just well prepared, and we just relied on our preparation. And so that's what got us the W.
On their second to last possession, you had a huge breakup on 4th down. You got your hand up on that pass. Just take me through that play and how big that felt in the moment to stop them there.
Well, first off, it's a blessing to be able to make plays for your team like that. As a starter and as a leader on the team, that's one thing that the guys look to me to do. Is just to basically just do my job. I don't have to go out there and do things, miraculous. I just have to do my job. It's 11 pieces to the puzzle. So I'm just glad that I was able to step up tonight and just do my job and make plays for my team. But it felt good to come up with that. I definitely know it was a big play in the game. So it was definitely rewarding to feel that and do that for my team. So, but at the same time, that's not the only play that stopped them. From I guess winning tonight or outplaying us tonight. The defense in general was just playing phenomenal tonight, man. But we of course, we got some things we need to tune up. But the offense was scoring, the offense was answering, and at times when we really couldn't stop them, man. So it was a collective effort, and when it was time to step up and make a play, I was just glad that God blessed me with the ability to make the play.
There were times when they moved the ball really well. What concerned you the most about the yards they were getting in and what you guys were giving up there?
I felt for the most part that we were stopping them, and we were getting to the ball. It's just those extra 2 and 3 yards that were really making a difference. Initially, when we first made contact, that they weren't really getting that much, but it's just the extra 2 or 3 yards after contact. That's the things that we have to clean up. So I felt like that was a big factor in tonight and how they ran the ball.
D'Angelo, what's the feeling? They had 4 leads in this game, and each time you guys answer and you come out with a win. Is it relief to get out of here with a win, or what's the feeling when you look back on this game?
Well, to piggyback on what Kelvin said, we were well prepared for the game. We knew they was going to come out here and give us their best game. Once again, our coaching staff made us well prepared for that. Scout teams did a phenomenal job throughout the week. Coaches put a phenomenal game plan together, and we executed it good. The defense, excuse my language, played a hell of a game tonight. Without them, we probably wouldn't have came out with a W. So my hats off to them. they played a great game. Offense, we got to tune up some of our little small mistakes, and thank God for the win.
As far as Western up front, was that the toughest defense you had seen and maybe gone up against this year? There were some big guys.
Well, so far, going in game 3, they're probably the toughest defense we played. Every defense we played so far has been pretty good across the board, D-line, linebacker, secondary, but those guys were pretty strong. They were pretty big. They gave it all they got. There's some good players on that team.
Devin, take us through your return, and at what point did you realize you had it?
Not like that, but we after the first 2 returns, we all noticed how the backside on the kickoff team was coming down, caving down. So we had a perfect return for that. And after we called it, I knew from the beginning, from what they were doing and what we could do on that return, that it was going to be there, and it happened to be there.
I called it on the sideline.
That's your 5th career now. You're 1 off the FCS record. Are you aware of that, and what does that mean to you to be approaching that kind of a record?
It means a lot to be that close to that type of record. And me and Bruce, my roommate Bruce, we always talk about breaking records and all that stuff. So yeah, I kind of knew about it before.
Are you surprised that teams still challenge you?
Yeah, I mean, if they want to risk it, I'm telling you, I got great blockers. So we're out here.
Hop, take us through the vantage point of being on the sideline and watching what he does, and just knowing that any time he could break one.
Man, me and Devin, we're from the same area, so it's something in the water down there. It's something in the water down there. But he's a phenomenal player. He's a phenomenal athlete. When he came in, he was at cornerback. Scout team, I needed some breaks at running back, and he came over and took over. So as far as me not knowing that he's going to do, I know he's going to make plays. He's probably one of the best athletes on the team, fastest guy on the team, hands down. So every time he touches the ball, it's liable to go every time. And I know the whole team feels that way. So very confident in his ability to make plays, take it to the house, take some relief off the offense, give the defense confidence again to go out there and get a 3 and out, smack some heads. But Devin is a phenomenal player. Something about that water in Charleston.
Chris, talk about the punt return and then catching the touchdown tonight.
The punt return, my first option is to catch the ball first, and after that it's just see where your blockers are, do what you got to do to get open. Get a good crease and get the offense a good field position. That's just what I really focus on when I'm out there catching punts. The catch for the touchdown, I just wanted to really make a play for the team. That's all I'm here to do. I really like that on my shoulders. I really want to do something great for the team. I'm really a self person. I'm here for the Coastal Carolina football, and that's just what I like to do. I just wanted to make a play, and I made a play today, and it really put us up, gave us a lot of momentum, and that's just all I have to do.
There's a lot of buzz about you in camp from your teammates and coaches. What's it mean to you to deliver in a big spot in a game like that and kind of back up that hype from the preseason?
It's just a great feeling when your teammates trusting you. When your teammates trusting you, you always know, all right, if I do something wrong or if I miss this play, they know I can get it back. So I'm just out there just to make these boys happy, make Coastal happy, and hopefully win a national championship on the way.
Yes, sir. Might I add, Chris Jones was probably the MVP of camp. He had a phenomenal camp.
Future preseason All-American.
If y'all could have seen the stuff he did in camp,
Gave me a tough time.
MVP of camp. No surprise what he did today.